God is about to show why He placed you in the forefront. It is not a time for doubts or hesitation. It is a time to understand what is happening in the spiritual world. This message is not to stroke the ego. It is to awaken those who have been chosen and know they carry a weight that is not common. You have gone through hard processes, not because God forgot you, but because He was shaping you. What comes now requires structure, and if you are noticing that everything around you is changing, it is because heaven has started to reveal you. It has nothing to do with fame or a stage. It is about purpose. God is not promoting you to showcase you. He is revealing you because the time has come to fulfill what He spoke long ago. And now, those who are ready will understand. The authority that comes from heaven does not need to explain itself. It imposes itself in silence, and those who carry this authority know exactly what I am talking about. I am George. If this message aligns with what you are experiencing, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. No fluff. Here it is straightforward, clear, and true. Let's continue. You looked at your life and thought you were falling behind. You saw people advancing, doors opening for others while you remained still. And this started to weigh on you. It began to seem unfair, but God never delayed you. He held you back because what He had to deliver required preparation. It required structure, and you were not ready yet. Most people want to hurry. They want to emerge from anonymity, achieve quickly, and be noticed soon. But God does not work in a rush. He works with purpose. While you thought you were forgetting what you dreamed of, He was aligning everything. Aligning your mind, your heart, your faith, and above all, teaching you to depend more on Him than on the results. There were days when you prayed for answers, and all you received was silence. But that silence was not abandonment. It was refinement. God was clearing away noise, cutting excess, teaching you to hear His voice clearly. He did not just want to push you forward. He wanted to strengthen you so that when you got there, you would not crumble. You cannot imagine how much you have matured during this time. What once threw you off balance no longer takes you out of place. What used to make you anxious now only makes you wait in peace. This is a sign that the preparation worked. The wait was not a punishment. It was part of the construction of someone being raised with purpose. God kept you away from wrong doors. He closed paths that seemed promising, but would have diverted you. He removed people who seemed right, but were not ready to walk with one who carries a calling. Everything that left your life during this time left because His plan was greater than your hurry. You learned to walk without needing to prove anything. To stop chasing what was not yours. To recognize when a season is over. And most importantly, you learn to wait with a clean heart. Those who go through this type of process do not return the same. They return strong. They return with vision. They return with authority. The wait revealed what was a priority. God distanced you from comparison, performance, and the need to please. He wanted you to look inward, not outward. For you to realize that it is not about speed, but about roots. Those who have roots can bear the weight of the blessing. Those who do not fall at the first wind. The time you deemed lost was, in fact, the most important time of your journey. It was there that God taught you to trust, even without seeing, to follow even without feeling, to obey even without understanding. And this prepared you for something that cannot be sustained by talent but by truth and consistency. Now that the time has come, you realize you do not need to rush. Because what is yours finds you. What God planned comes at the right measure, and it comes at the exact time. This time of waiting was not in vain. It was the time that defined the foundation of what is about to happen. The world measures results. God measures structure. The world applauds visibility. God looks at the secret. And that is why he hid you, because he needed to form you away from the spotlight, so that when he shows you, no one can say it was luck. It was God, and it was from him, from beginning to end. Before you worried about being understood, you wanted people to see your heart, recognize your effort, and value your dedication. You spent energy trying to explain yourself, but that time has passed. Now your presence speaks. Without speeches, without defenses, those who carry something from God no longer need to prove themselves. They simply arrive, and the environment understands. This change is not about arrogance. It is about awareness. When you go through the process that God takes you through, something inside you adjusts. You begin to realize that you do not need to fit in where you are not called. Nor do you need to lower yourself to be accepted. The chosen do not beg for space. They occupy the right space at the right time. You entered environments where you were once ignored. Today, the same presence that once went unnoticed now attracts attention. And it is not because you have become popular. It is because the anointing has matured. The spiritual authority you carry has been forged in secret. And when it manifests, there is no way not to notice. There is something in you that was not there before. It is subtle, but it is real. It is firm, but it is light. Your posture has changed. Your energy has changed. Your way of being in places has changed. Because now, you know who you are. And when you know who you are in God, you no longer need to compete for recognition with anyone. This security did not come from praise. It came from pain. It was in solitude that God established your identity. It was in silence that he shaped your confidence. And now this shines through. You speak less, but impact more. You expose yourself less, but are remembered more. Because your essence has been cleansed, and what comes out of you now comes from a clean source. The presence you carry carries history. It carries marks, scars, learnings. You do not need to recount everything you have lived. Just by being there, you already convey something different. That is what the heavens do with those who have been truly called. They transform hidden struggles into a living sign. The environments have started to respond to you. People notice something, even without understanding. Some distance themselves, others approach, but all react. Because the spiritual world recognizes those who are aligned with heaven. And when someone walks in obedience, even without wanting to draw attention, they end up being light wherever they go. Before, you measured your words to be accepted. Today, you choose silence because you know that not everyone deserves to hear. Before, you chased after opportunities. Now, they come to you, not by chance, but because you carry answers. Your presence has become a key. And those who carry a key do not beg for doors. They open them. Heaven has placed on you an authority that does not need volume. It is perceived, not announced. And those who have discernment feel it. This authority did not come from a title, nor from a position. It came from brokenness, from surrender, from obedience, and that is why it is legitimate. And when it is legitimate, it remains. Now you understand that you are not competing with anyone, that your value is not in the opinions of others, but in what God has established. You can walk in peace, because those who know what they carry do not need to prove themselves. And those who carry something from heaven know. Wherever they step, the environment respects them, even if in silence. Before, peace was something you sought with effort. You prayed for it, but got lost in the noise. It only took one bad news, a harsh word, or an unexpected situation, and everything inside of you would crumble. But over time, God did something different. He didn't just give you peace. He made peace your foundation. Today, you no longer depend on the environment to stay balanced. Everything may be falling apart outside, but inside you are firm. This is not indifference. It is spiritual maturity. The war hasn't stopped. You have learned not to engage in battles that are not yours. The peace that envelops you now comes from knowing where your trust lies. God trained you in silence, in the midst of pressure. He didn't give you immediate relief. He gave you resilience. While you were asking for an exit, He was teaching you to remain at peace even in the storm. This peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of purpose. It is knowing that, even without control, you are not lost. Many do not understand. They think you are cold, distant, even disengaged. But it's the opposite. You have simply learned not to react as you once did, not to give your soul away for any tension. You no longer hide in agitation. Your peace annoys others because it is firm. And those who carry steadiness without noise always create discomfort for those who still live in despair. This peace is the result of surrender. You stopped fighting with your own hands. You stopped trying to solve everything on your own, and in place of anxiety, trust has entered. Now you know how to wait. You know how to observe. You know when to act and when to simply remain. This is a sign that you have been formed from within, not just taught. Your calm today carries weight. It has presence. It has depth. People notice that you have changed, but they cannot explain how. You used to be explosive, unstable, reactive. Today you are firm, calm. Not because everything is fine, but because you know you are where you should be. And that changes everything. The peace you carry has become your armor. It is no longer something fragile, easy to break. It is protection. It is a shield. While some try to defend themselves with arguments, with shouts, with control, you protect yourself with silence, with serenity, because you know that God fights for you, and those who trust Him do not despair. What used to destabilize you now only strengthens you. The pressures have not disappeared. But now you navigate with the right eyes, with the right heart. You do not need to prove anything or convince anyone. Your stability has become a testimony. Your tranquility has become a sign that God is truly sustaining you. This peace did not take you out of the war. It kept you whole within it. You went through things that would make many crumble, but you stayed. You survived. You advanced. And now every step you take is light because it is not driven by fear. It is driven by conviction. Those who walk with peace walk with clarity. Continue to guard this peace. Do not trade it for small distractions, for empty conversations, for meaningless offenses. Your peace is too precious to be wasted. It was built with pain, prayer, tears, and renunciation. Now that it has become armor, wear it wisely. Because those who carry this peace carry evidence that they have been separated. There is something different about you. And it is not about appearance or forced posture. It is something deeper. It is presence. It is atmosphere. People are noticing. Some distance themselves for no clear reason. Others come closer without knowing why. This is not coincidence. It is the spiritual world reacting to the change that God has made within you. Your energy has changed because your essence has been transformed. What was once unstable is now firm. What was once noise is now clarity. God has not only changed you on the inside, He has started to adjust everything around you. Your spiritual atmosphere is cleaner, stronger, more aligned with the purpose that is being revealed. You may have noticed that some connections are beginning to lose meaning. Conversations that once engaged you now tire you. People who seemed essential now feel distant. This is not rejection, it is realignment. When God raises the level of your calling, He also filters who can or cannot walk alongside you. Some feel disturbed by your peace. Others are attracted to your truth. The environment does not lie. Those with discernment notice that there is something about you that was not there before. It is authority. It is maturity. It is the reflection of what God has built in silence. And those who do not understand this yet react with strangeness. Your presence is activating responses without you saying anything. People are looking for you to listen, even without knowing exactly what they want. Others distance themselves, as if your presence highlights their discomfort with their own mess. This is part of the process. Those who carry light always provoke movement in the environment. Do not try to explain yourself. Do not try to fix everything. Do not try to maintain connections that God has already severed. What is happening is not emotional. It is spiritual. And when heaven begins to adjust your atmosphere, not everything will make sense in human logic. But in the spirit, everything is perfectly aligned. You have been repositioned. And along with you, everything around you is being stirred. God is clearing the ground for what is to come. People are being moved. Doors are being relocated. Situations are being reconfigured. Not out of confusion, but for preparation. He does not leave anything out of place when He decides to lift you up. This change in your atmosphere is the result of internal transformation. God does not restore your return before changing your heart. And now that your heart has been purified, your return is being aligned. The invisible is becoming evident. And those who walk with the Spirit feel this even before they understand. You are lighter, but more firm. You are calmer, but more intense. You are quieter, but more present. These layers that God has placed upon you are signs that the season has changed. You do not need to force yourself, nor do you need to justify yourself. Just continue to be faithful. Because those who need to recognize you will, and those who do not understand will move out of the way. Your atmosphere carries answers. It points to direction. It provokes change. And all of this is a sign that God has not only chosen you, He has positioned you. You are now a walking environment of revelation. Where you step, something changes. Not because you want it to, but because you carry heaven within you. You tried everything. You knocked on doors, insisted on paths, sought answers, and many times, all you found was silence. Closed doors, long waits, frustrations that seemed unfair. But now something has changed. You are no longer running. You are no longer asking. You are just walking. And the doors are opening by themselves. This is not coincidence. It is a sign that the right time has come. What once seemed locked is now moving with ease. There is no more pressure, no more weariness. Heaven has begun to release what has always been yours, but would only be delivered when your structure was ready. God never denied. He simply waited for the exact moment. This opening you are experiencing did not come from force. It came from alignment. You stopped trying to force what was not yours and began to accept what was eternal. Maturity has brought discernment, and now you know. When it is from God, you do not need to push. You just need to obey, and the rest will happen. The chosen do not compete for space. They occupy it. They do not chase attention. They attract it by who they are, not by what they do. And it is precisely for this reason that heaven has begun to move. You understood that the time for force has passed. Now is the time for fluidity. What opens before you today is the consequence of obedience. Do not be deceived. There will still be challenges. But the difference is that now you are not alone. You are guided. You are covered. What once exhausted you now resolves with a step of faith. What once confused you now reveals itself with clarity. Because where there is purpose, there is direction. The doors that are opening are not just to take you to a new place. They are to confirm that God never forgot what He promised. Each of them carries an answer, a confirmation, a sign that what was prepared in secret has now begun to manifest in the visible. You are no longer trying to convince anyone, not even yourself. That phase where you explained yourself, justified yourself, and questioned yourself all the time is over. Today, you know who you are. You know what you carry. You know what you face to be standing. And it is this awareness that gives weight to your journey. Before, you spent energy trying to prove your worth. You wanted people to recognize how much you devoted yourself, how sincere you were. But now that doesn't matter anymore. Because the value of your life is not in external recognition, but in the truth you carry within. Your life has become a message. Your story has become a testimony. You are the living proof that God does not waste processes. Everything that seemed like delay, pain, and silence today makes sense, not because it became easy, but because you understood the purpose. You are reaping fruits that no one saw you plant. You are living promises that seemed too distant to happen. The firmness you carry today did not come from courses or compliments. It came from the falls. It came from suffocated prayers. It came from the nights when you almost gave up. And that is why now you do not need to explain yourself. Your life speaks. Your stance speaks. Your silence has weight. Your presence has purpose. God is using you as an answer, not to prove that you are better, but to show that He never makes mistakes when He chooses. He took someone common, shaped them in secret, trained them in the desert, and now is raising them up as a testimony. You are a living reminder that God's faithfulness does not fail. There are people who look at you and do not understand. They see where you are, but cannot imagine what you went through to get here. And that's okay. They do not need to know. Because what matters now is not the applause, but the sending. You are not where you are by merit. You are there by grace and obedience. Time has taught you that you no longer need to put yourself in places that God did not call you to. That it is not worth arguing with those who lack discernment. That it is pointless to try to explain spiritual processes to those who only understand appearances. Today you simply live, and those who have eyes to see will see. You no longer need microphones. Your life already preaches. Every step you take is full of purpose. Every decision you make has spiritual weight. And all of this is the result of surrender, of the path denied, of the yes spoken to God when it was easier to flee. That is why now you carry authority, not from a stage but from essence. Your story is not perfect, but it is redeemed, and that is exactly why it has power. God does not use perfection, He uses surrender. And you surrendered. You broke. You remade yourself. Now even the way you walk is proof that something greater is guiding you. Something that the world does not understand, but respects. You have become an answer to questions you did not even know existed. God raised you up to be a sign, not to impress, but to confirm that He continues to choose, empower, and fulfill. It is not about you. It is about what He is doing through you. And that is greater than any explanation. This is the time of the chosen ones, and you are one of them. Not by status, nor by appearance, but by purpose. God did not separate you for no reason. Everything you went through was preparation. Now has come the moment when He begins to reveal the reason for each process, each pain, and each silence. You are not being recognized by chance. God did not hide you because He wanted to set you aside. He kept you because what is upon you is too valuable to be exposed before the time. He protects what is His. And now that you are ready, He Himself is showing why He placed you at the forefront. Your identity is firm, your peace has become visible, your presence carries authority. You do not need to introduce yourself, just show up. Heaven has already validated who you are. And when heaven validates, the earth responds. This is the time when God transforms processes into platforms. What hurt you now sends you. You no longer need to impress, you just need to fulfill. The mission is greater than recognition. The calling is more important than acceptance. What God is doing in your life is to evidence His faithfulness. You are living proof that He fulfills what He promises, that He does not fail those He chooses. Now is the time. Walk with conviction, speak with clarity, serve with humility, and do not get distracted, because those who were chosen need to act like one, and those who were revealed need to walk in obedience. God has already begun to show, and He does not reveal what He will not use. Your time has come. Walk as one who knows this.